like some coffee?
Yo, what's up? What it do? How's it going out there in the real world? This is Amethyst Pudding with another story time for you. This one is going to be another early time. I want to say it's 7th or 8th grade. I want to say it's definitely 8th grade. And it's actually technically, well, definitely, no technically to it. It is not my story, but it's a story that was told to me by a friend of mine. And I was literally there after the fact, and we'll get into it, and it's a pretty funny one, so I figured it was a worthy tale. So yeah, it's 8th grade, and a lot of kids around this time experimented with drinking and such and partying, and this was like, 7th, 8th grade and onwards pretty much, and it only ramps up from there, it seemed like. And this is actually a story involving my friend Samson, who was in the Adderall field trip story, and he might have been in like one other one. I can't really think off the top of my head. Maybe the Teacher Tales one, but yeah, he's from like, I've been friends with him ever since like junior high, even 6th grade onwards, because he lived so close to my house. And that's how I heard of this story, because right the day after this happened, I happened to stop by, and he told me all the juicy details. But he was at a party at another person's house, close to one of the main roads in our town where all the businesses are. Not too important right now, but I don't know how, but they were, drinking and getting drunk. I mean, I don't know if the parents were gone or if they were just kind of sneaking around, behind their backs, so to speak. But at one point throughout the night, it got later and later, and they decided to kind of like take a walk, because, when you're that young, you fucking, just being out past curfew feels like, like it's a big deal and all that. So, one second. Don't want to cough in the mic. Sorry about that. But yeah, it makes you feel like you're a rebellious youth. I mean, they're already getting drunk, and I started drinking around this same time frame, but I didn't drink that often, and they didn't really either. It is just kind of like, them wilding out, so to speak. But they hit the main area, one of the main roads in our town, and there's a business called Family Video. It's basically like a Blockbuster, but for our area, it's like a Midwestern thing, I guess. And it was still in business then, and still was up until very recently. It was in business well past the Blockbusters in the area. And then they started selling CBD, so it's kind of weird. I actually worked at the local one, for not very long, for maybe like a month at the most, but maybe 2 actually. It wasn't very long, no. Either way, they make their way up there, and there is they wanted to get some sodas from the soda machine, and they get up there and they buy their sodas, and they're kind of getting drunk, and they're not getting drunk, but they're feeling the effects of being drunk, and being the rebellious youths they are, they get it into their heads that they're gonna cause some destruction, and they give the old vending machine a good old couple, good old tugs, and they kick it and they freaking tug on it, and the thing comes like completely just falls down, comes unplugged from the wall or wherever the hell it's plugged into, and it calls down, and you just hear it go, and you just hear like electric sounds, and they just took off running their drunk asses back towards where they were going, came from. And not long after it, I would, probably been like maybe a block of them running at most, there was a police cruiser that had probably drove by in Morton or somewhere nearby or something, either heard it or seen it, but they drove by and they saw these kids running, and they turned on their lights, and they fucking spun around, and they fucking started chasing after them, and they were fucking hiding behind cars and shit, trying to evade. Apparently the cop like drove by and evaded them. They straight past him the first time, but he wasn't stupid, and he fucking turned back around because he knew they probably were hiding somewhere back yonder. And eventually they fucking get decent way there, but the cops fucking they get another squad car or two, and they start patrolling, and eventually they see them probably out of the corner of their eyes, because they said they were hiding in the shadow, but they might have been wearing like I'm wearing like a white shirt or something that stands out, but yeah, they fucking they get busted by the old cops, and then that night fucking they all get like, booked or whatever. I mean, technically they got fingerprinted and everything and all that, but what happened is they ended up getting like a bunch of fines on top of having to pay for the broken vending machine. It's a Coca-Cola vending machine, I remember that. And it was like a cans. It was an old school vending machine, but they broke that son of a bitch up. Like they kicked it and they pulled it up and they like pulled it like fucking like some riot shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was a kid they called I called him Corn Rash, because I remember one time we dehusked corn. I did detasseled. Sorry, that's what it was called. Detasseling corn, and you would get like corn rubbing up and down you and everything, and then it irritates you. Get corn. You'd get corn rash, but he got like swollen up eyes where like you could not see him. Like he was like he was blind as shit. And he was a cool guy though. He used to sell some weed here back in the Dizzy. He was a cool guy though. But it was him. It was Samson. It was I think Huey from some of the other stories, and a guy called Joshua that was I think mentioned briefly in the Teacher Tale story. But it was all of them, and they all were forced to, like, I guess, split the pot on the price of the vending machine, and they all had their own individual fines. One of them actually tried to, like, evade further, I think, even more than the other one, so he got a little bit extra fineage and stuff. But the kicker is Samson ended up getting grounded for the entire summer, because it's like the very beginning of summer. I don't even think summer began. I think it's like just still like a week of school or something. And like he was grounded so hardcore, like he wasn't even able to leave the house. Like I'm pretty sure it was like just like maybe not finals week, maybe like makeup week. Like there's like a week for like makeup stuff. I don't know, but like we didn't have much of school, and even if it was straight from school to home, and even then it was like home only. I had to learn from just going to his house, but that was the last time I was able to talk to him for pretty much months and months and months because of this ordeal. Because it was like a big deal being in 8th grade and fucking who knows how much the vending machine cost, $5,000-$10,000 split 3 or 4 ways depending on if there was a 4th person or not. It's hard telling. I'm sure I'd be pretty pissed off too, but at the same time, like, I guess it makes for a good story, you know what I mean? He's a good guy, but I mean, like I said, I wasn't involved with it at all. I was being a good boy. But yeah, no, it was a crazy time, and I remember like just having to be hanging out with some of the other local kids because he was there. We would fucking kind of sneak over there sometimes and like go up to his window and be like, hey man, how's it going, dude? It wouldn't be very long or anything. In fact, I actually got another couple story times involving this kid. He's a good guy, like I said, and local, so I was able to hang out at his house more. So I've got a couple other story times in the works from his actual house, because we got into some pretty good shenanigans ourselves, just us two or us and a couple other friends, and so plenty of other story times coming up with him, about him. But either way, I think that'll do it here. I just thought that was a crazy story. Pretty, man, I wish I was there. I wish I was a fly on that wall or fly on that freaking family video wall, you know what I mean? But yeah, you guys have yourselves a good one. And I feel like there's something I'm forgetting to tell you. I'm going to be streaming here soon, and my John Carpenter list is almost ready, so be looking for that.